What is up, YouTube fragrance family and friends? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Got a couple fragrances to look at today for the first time. Both of them would fit the blue genre category of fragrances for men. That is fresh, aquatic, great for spring and summer. So it's the perfect time to bust these out and take a look at them, see if they're worth picking up. So when we return, we're gonna take a look at Candies for Men, and we've got a fresh aquatic fragrance that was just released last year by Missoni Wave. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to be taking a look at a couple fragrances that would fit that fresh blue, aquatic, fruity category. The first scent we're going to look at was a fragrance that was originally released back in 1999. That's right, 22 years ago. Candies for Men. Re-released it with a new formula, new packaging. But before we get into that note breakdown, let's check out this presentation. So the box wants there to be no confusion as to what's inside of it. So you've got candies that way, you've got candies on the top, and you've even got a photographic representation of what's inside the box, along with all of the notes. I kind of like the presentation, actually. It is a gradient from dark blue to clear near the bottom. It's kind of a full gradient when you look at the bottle that way, with candies across the bottom. The iconic C for Candies is emblazoned in blue behind silver on the top of the cap. The cap itself is plastic, and then you've got your silver atomizer. Really nice. It's a 100 ml bottle. It is an eau de toilette concentration. So let's talk a little bit about that note breakdown, because it does vary quite a bit from the original Candies.
Candies for Men is a fresh aromatic fragrance featuring top notes of orange zest, Italian bergamot, and pear, with heart notes of geranium, lavender dew, and lotus, resting on a base of cedarwood, sandalwood, musk, and amber.
The OG Candies had grapefruit, it had watermelon, it had cilantro, and I think green cardamom in the top. What I remember is a lot of watermelon, so it was very fruity, which I like now, but at that time I wasn't really keen on fruity fragrances. In the heart, I believe it had what it called foliage or green notes in it, and some cedar. And the standard fare for 1990s fragrances for men, you've got birch, oakmoss, musk, and I think a little bit of cedar, patchouli possibly, in the original. So that pretty much comprised the original. So there are quite a few differences in today's reformulated Candies for Men. Let's go ahead and check out that juice. Wow, this is one of those that it doesn't spray a small, like a quarter-sized array. It sprays a very wide array mist and not very far. Definitely got like a pearish sense, so I like that open. It's not bad. The open isn't bad at all. Just scouring the internet for just a few minutes, you get an overall sense that people who supposedly wore and loved the original Candies don't like this. They're saying it's weak, that the reformulation isn't at all close to what the original is. I would have to agree that, yeah, it's definitely not. It's reformulated. It's different. Supposedly it's been modernized. I'm just saying it's not fair to subject a new reformulation to a 22-year-old memory. Nothing's ever going to hold up to our memory because we're very nostalgic about fragrances. We attach feelings and emotions to fragrances that no new fragrance is ever going to live up to. Quick first impression that I'm going to be giving you is based on this fragrance alone. So let's put it on skin Yeah, it's very bright and fruity. I do like that open, that combination of orange zest. You've got your bergamot to add some additional bright citrus in there, and of course pear. It's a good trifecta for an open. There is a little bit of an underfunk about this that's probably a combination of the geranium, the lavender, lotus, and musk. I'm not really super keen on the dry down. It's got kind of a cheap, soapy kind of feel to it that to me is kind of where you see the seams in this fragrance. It's basically what I would expect a $20 fragrance to smell like and act like. There are so many fragrances out there right around 20 bucks or less that smell so much better that I don't necessarily think that I would reach for this for any particular reason. For those of you out there that like lightly floral scents with a little bit of fruit in the open, then you might enjoy this fragrance. That's a $20 fragrance. Again, I've smelled worse. So I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I just feel like there are better fragrances out there. All right, guys, next up is a fragrance that was released in 2020. When I first saw this released, I kind of gave it a pass, and I thought I would wait until this hits discounters. It is from the house of Missoni. Let's check out that presentation. Missoni Wave comes in a nice multicolored blue box with actual waves on it, obviously to recommend the name of the fragrance. You've got Missoni on the top, you've got Missoni Wave on the front, Eau de Toilette Pour Homme, 100 ml bottle. On the very bottom, you've got your warning label, batch stickers, distribution information, and that's pretty much it for the box. I really enjoy the presentation. Not only does it have a magnetic cap, just like the OG Missoni, but the bottle itself is a really unusual shape. So it's a little bit fatter at the top than it is at the bottom, which feels interesting in your hand. It feels really good in your hand. And then of course you've got wide enough at the bottom to have a nice stance on your shelf. Now the gradient is a light blue at the top, and it gets clear to become absolute clear pretty much at the bottom. What about the juice inside? Let's talk about that note breakdown.
Missoni Wave features top notes of Italian mandarin orange and marine notes, with heart notes of Egyptian pelargonium, clary sage, lavender, and rosemary, resting on a base of oakmoss, patchouli, Haitian vetiver, and vanilla orchid.
The nose behind the fragrance is Christophe Renaud. There's quite a few notes in here, so let's go ahead and check out that juice and see what we think of that note breakdown. I'm a big proponent of the original Missoni, so I really like not only the atomizers. This is one of those atomizers that you can actually mediate how much juice you want to come out, whether it's just a little bit, see it spray there, or a lot. So the really quality atomizer sprays a good amount of juice. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is what a quality blue fragrance should smell like. Now, I didn't have any expectations of Candies smelling like Missoni Wave. Quite honestly, I went into this review knowing that this would come out the victor, you know, in the comparison between the two. In the very open, you've got a little bit of mandarin orange, which is one of the preferred citruses for opens, for men, for masculine fragrances. And then it just launches into marine notes. So you definitely get that marine aquatic feel in the very open of this fragrance. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on skin. See what we're gonna do there. I really like this bottle. Man, I love this. Presentation's so cool. I'll definitely be giving that some wear and some use. This has a really high quality lavender in there. I really like what it's doing in the fragrance. The combination of that Egyptian pelargonium, the clary sage, and the lavender gives this a really spicy, fresh, blue, aquatic feel to it. Then when you combine that elegant, dry green vetiver along with that vanilla orchid to soften it up and warm it up quite a bit, that's a really good combination. I actually honestly didn't expect to like Missoni Wave as much as I really like it. The open is okay. The open is just a nice citrus aquatic. It's relatively linear. It goes away relatively quickly. What you're really left with though in that hard and that dry down, it's a fantastic, lightly spicy, warm mix of that clary sage, that pelargonium, the lavender specifically, along with vanilla, orchid, and then that Haitian vetiver. Very happy with Missoni Wave. I'll definitely be giving this some wear. For those of you out there that really like blue fragrances like Versace Dylan Blue, of course Blue de Chanel, the original Missoni is a very nice alternative to Blue de Chanel. But if you want to go a little bit more on the blue, a little bit more on the aquatic, this is less deep oceanic and then light oceanic. So this has got kind of a light blue sensibility to it. You can tell it's got the Missoni DNA in there. It's just going a little bit of a divergent direction, like a lighter blue direction. And I really, really like that. This is going to be a great high heat fragrance because there's not a lot of sweetness in there. It's just a modicum amount of sweetness. So this is going to be really good in those high heat situations, perfect for the sweltering dog days of summer. You know, like that lavender will often have that cooling effect when you have it on. This is going to have that too in spades. I think it's going to be a great summertime grab. Well guys, that's it for my unboxing and first impression of Candies for Men and Missoni Wave. This is clearly the victor, the winner. Not that there is a competition between the two. Obviously this is a $20 fragrance. If you own them, please let me know what you think. I'm interested in knowing what you feel about these two fragrances. Thanks so much for checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.